Hello, everyone. Welcome along then to the Miami Grand Prix. This is round five of the seat of the championship. Then, and yes, indeed, then this is going to be a fantastic event then here this afternoon, isn't it? And I cannot wait. Then, absolutely superb stuff indeed. Then I've got an error that I've got a problem with, which is good stuff. Then, right then, give it another go, and then we'll go from there. But yes, indeed, then Miami. Then of course, is it the Miami Autodrome or something like that potentially? But yes, it is. It's not much undulation or anything like that around here, but it's all good and stuff like that. Then I must admit, I'm not really a big old fan of Miami. I must say, it's not the most interesting of. It's not the most interesting of races in the world, is it? But anyway, nonetheless, let's not be so negative, shall we? Then, and let's get on with the show itself. And of course, in the championship, then it is all spiced up, hasn't it? Because we have now got a joint championship lead for the first time in a very long time as well. Sam Swift Ninja has kind of met his match, or has he met his match? Then it depends on how this goes today. But currently, the two championship protagonists are Immortal. What an incredible start that Immortal has, and also of course then Sam Swift Ninja as well won the opening two races. And we thought it was going to be as you was kind of thing, wasn't it? Really, but Immortal's come back in the last couple of races and has done a very good job, hasn't he? Nick Candish, great result last summer, and I think that was his best result of his career in third position. Pete's in fourth position. Well, Team Alpine have been an absolute revelation so far. Really good stuff indeed. Then with Van Von in fifth position, sixth is Menace, seventh position is Brabbit with Flippy in eighth, ninth is Troy, and 10th is Equals on 6 points. Then Boxtal also on six as well. Lights is on three, 1 point for Morris, 1 point for Cam, 1 point for Chaza. And then of course, if we flip over to the constructors championship, then and in the constructors championship, it is Kick Sauber that has started off well, but so has the blue team of Racing Bull. And remember, this is Racing Bull's first time in in the championship, and technically in terms of the name, anyway. Then we have got Alpine in third position and 6-7 points. And the team at Alpine of Nick Canish and Pease. Have they been the surprise package of the season? Maybe. I'm not too sure about that yet. Well, I think they have, haven't they? They're the team of the season so far. The Alpine on 67 points, 31 points for the Red Bull Racing Team. Ferrari on 24-22 for the Haas team. McLaren also on 22. Williams on 16, 6 for Mercedes, and 1 for Aston Martin. Difficult start for Aston Martin, sadly, in the constructors for gold, anyway. But what about the joint constructors then for ALR? Currently, it is the McLaren team on a 207 points, 185 for the Williams team. 22 points separates the top two teams in that championship at the moment. Third is Kick Sauber on 175, 141 for the Racing Bulls. Alpine on 175, 172 for Aston Martin. So close between the I thought it was raining. Between the Racing Bull, Alpine, and Aston Martin, 95 points for for the Red Bull, 78 points for Ferrari, 70 points for the Haas, and Mercedes on 46 points then, as well as where is the stream? There's the stream. Let's get rid of all that gumpfare and let's get on with the program, shall we? And this is going to be very interesting indeed then tonight. As I said then, there's probably, I don't think it's the most beloved circuit in the world, is it, at the Miami Autodrome? But however, it has produced some decent racing in the past for ALR. This is ALR's fourth time of visiting this circuit. Last time we visited this race was back 2 seasons ago in season 11, of course, where Lucas Percy won that race. Brabbit got pole position last time we visited here. Then, of course, Troy won in season 9. We did race here in season 10. And in season 8, then, which is the first time we visited here, Percy won again. So Percy with 2 Grand Prix wins there, of course. So that means that currently, as it stands, Sam Swift Ninja's never won around here then, which is interesting stuff indeed. That so yeah, very Going to be very interesting how this one transpires, and very gloomy out there at the moment, isn't it? Someone's expecting weather. Someone's expecting some weather to come in. Then, of course, intermediate tires for Nick Candish, who got a very good second position last week, didn't he? Fantastic stuff indeed there for Nick Candish, and really has been a absolute revelation, hasn't he, over the past, well, over last week anyway, in Saudi Arabia. Let's see how it transpires out here tonight. And on board with Boxtel. Boxtel, difficult start to the season for Boxtel as he just comes around turn 8, I think that's where Charles Leclerc had a big old smash there back in 2022, I think it was, which is the first, or was it 2023? I can't remember now. Of course, 3DR, so it was around this circle on the start-finish straight, on the back straight, which kind of goes alongside the freeway, and then, of course, this very curvy straight as well. It reminds me of Valencia or Russia, potentially. It's got 3 cars out on circuit, and qualifying then to determine the grid order for the Grand Prix starting in just a jiffy. Anyone with some milestones tonight? Absolutely. Where is Pease racing tonight? Yes, he is. So happy 69th. Nice Grand Prix there for Pease tonight. And Pease has had a very good start. This is Pease's best start to his season for many of the years. So it's good stuff indeed then. And as I said then in the championship, I do think Alpine are probably the surprise package so far this season, which is very interesting. Interesting stuff indeed. Real Ashton then. Any Coldplay driver can tonight then. To be honest, if you've it's all over my TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, those those very troublesome couple who went to Coldplay, which I'm not sure which is worse, being called cheap or being a Coldplay fan. I must admit, I quite like Coldplay actually. I read it off someone else's account. And so basically, as you can tell, I always steal everyone else's material, because that's how I roll it. It's Boxtel and attacks the circuit for the first time. His first lap out on circuit and the first lap of the event so far. For Boxtel, of course, Boxtel has been on pole position many of time. Then that's 19 pole position. If he gets on pole position, it will be his 20th pole position. But this is the longest drought that he's had in his career of pole positions, or lack of pole positions, in his ALR career. Rain, says Equal, said, let go gold and good luck everyone. Sean, you aren't in the lobby, laugh out loud. Then, to be honest, I was running a bit late then because I was doing a career. And let's just say that someone caused a late safety car, me, and it was a very long safety car as well, which is why I was a little late. But I needed to, because I needed an extra pit stop. Good luck, Light, saying hello. Sorry, Light says good luck, gold, but also good luck, Light as well. Of course, of course, I want to be a nice gentleman, or I try to be. However, having said that, also as well, I've been very, I've got a very upset stomach today. So if I go quiet, you know that I'm in the lavatory, in the think tank, or whatever you like to call it. I had a kebab last night, and I got to say, since then, I have been in absolute agony. So maybe I should stop eating all these bad foods for me, potentially. But obviously, I've been saying that for years, but it just doesn't go well at all. I'm a man who enjoys not so healthy stuff then. So thank you very much for Camera Racer for the super chat, and hello all racers. Good luck to gold at Camera Racer, €10 as well, which goes into my piggy bank now. Kaz Van Vodden has gone fastest. Van Vodden, I don't think has had a pole position. I always get confused about this. That yes, Van Vodden hasn't had a pole position in his career, which I find absolutely astounding for the Grand Prix winner out there. Not ideal at all then, but yes. By the way, I went to the cinema, and you know what? I didn't watch F1. I watched the new Superman, really good actually. Yeah, very good indeed. I must admit, I was quite surprised by it, to be honest. I thought it'd be a bit different to what it was. So yeah, good film. Mayran, hello Gold, good evening to you, mate. Just on board with Flippy at the moment in second position, and got pole position last time out in Saudi Arabia. Flippy has really started to come on song, hasn't he? Flippy has, after a very difficult opening 2 Grand Prix, is the silver champion, but since then, my goodness gracious me, Flippy has been absolutely in fine. Vettel, good stuff indeed then. As we got Mumford just going into 6th position, then we got Delano back in the back in the cockpit of the Ferrari car 96, currently 5th position. Well, I don't want to. I hope Delano doesn't find this offensive, but I must admit, Delano does remind you of those yo-yo those yo-yo promotion clubs that keep going up and down, the likes of, it used to be like Norwich, didn't it, back in the day, and West Brom. Now it's probably more like, I don't know, Leicester or something like that. But Delano that gets promoted and relegated from gold and silver. But I must say that Delano on his day is quicker, is just as quick as the top midfield drivers, I would hazard a guess. I would say around here, as Immortal is the man on foot that has run on board with the joint championship leader, with Sam Swift and Ninjas currently in the pits mode. That Immortal, who is the most, got the most pole positions in ALR gold history, as he flies past me as well. Speak up, Sean. God's putting the bins out in Derby. Oh, am I quiet? Am I? Hang on, let me turn me up then, as I will turn me up then, because of course everyone needs to hear me, don't they? Evenings far ALR says that Paul 25-1 then. Screenshot that someone so that we remember what Mayrana says then. 25-1 is pole position then here in Miami. I love that part. One part of the circuit I do like about this. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to be. I started with a bit of a negative so and so, didn't I? So I was like, not sure about this circuit, but it ain't too bad. But I gotta say, I'd rather have. When there's races being alternated, like Spa, for example, and Zandvoort, I'd like Zandvoort. I know it's probably not many people's favourites, as that lights has gone faster on the 27-7, 2/10 second away from Mayran's prediction at the moment. Here comes Immortal across the line, and that's already into a 25-3, and goodness me, that's already blasted our prediction out of the water. I'm going to point my fingers as Mayran's prediction out of the water. 25-3 from the championship leader is Immortal. The Candice hoping to pick up from where he left off last week in Saudi Arabia. Equals into a very comfortable 5th position at the moment. Make that 6th, I should say. Sure. Menace down in 11th position. Menace has gone right off the circuit there. And good grief, that's a scrape with the Armco, sadly. And unfortunately, that's down in 11th position. Bravitt is 2200 a second down in the second split time here, but he's got a lot of deployment in. Here comes Cam across the line. The Aston Martin jumped up to 12th position at the moment there. What about Pease? As I said, them Pease. Oh, and Pease has also had an issue there, and that he's damaged the end plate as well, as Pease said. This circuit, I would say, it's not the most challenging in the world, then, but we've already seen drivers meet a bit of an issue there with the hardening of the Armco barrier. Evening Fart and Vintage then. I'm going to be honest, I'm wondering if that's Serious Mushroom calling me, because I have had a lot of wind today then. I must say, I'm not sure about if the country's had bad weather up and down then. There's certainly been bad weather in the old Forest Dean. It's been very breezy. It certainly has from my area anyway, goodness me. Into the pits comes up Pease now. Immortal is something else, says Dukey. Absolutely good, said. And I must say, I think Immortal, then we've seen flashes of this, haven't we? In 100%, for example, where of course Immortal was of course in 100%, a completely different discipline. Was absolutely phenomenal. So the second half of those races, he was magnificent. But now Immortal has really fine-tuned himself, and I think this has been coming out for a season or two, hasn't it? I know it's easy for hindsight, isn't it? Now it's Troy, of course, the Super Swede back in the Williams car, great to see him back, and also Legends out on circuit as well. I would, of course, hindsight's a wonderful thing and all, but Immortal has really been building up over the last couple of years, seasons or two, hasn't he? But Menace has dropped back this season, and that is one thing that I did not foreshadow. I didn't foreshadow a lot, to be fair, but that's one thing that I have been surprised by this season, is Menace just struggling so far this season. Unfortunately, Menace has already been in the Armco as well, unfortunately, as has, I think it was Pease that was in the Armco as well. We've seen a bit of damage there. Yeah, I was being a bit critical about the circuit, but I do love that part of the circuit. And of course, that chicane that really is so awkward and error-generating, very similar to Singapore's thing, which they got rid of, which still hurts me, back in 2012 or 13, as Kaz has gone up to a very competitive second position there. He's on the front row of the grid, is the Red Bull driver. Lovely stuff indeed. There's the second Willie of Knowles. They were just watching Knowles, Troy out of the final turn then, and coming up to the line, so up the apple and pineapple pizza. Good heavens me, Ashton, that is very controversial indeed. Troy down in 11th at the moment there, but he has got a license to thrill, as he is 007. here's the world champion, or shall I say the triple world champion. Legends goes 11th, his teammate. What about Soundsurf Ninja, who has been behind the 8 ball in the last couple of weeks, hasn't he? Knowlesy then tackling that just under the freeway. Then on the back straight, you'll see a glimpse of Chazza. There he is in the background. We'll also keep an eye on the triple world champion, Soundsurf Ninja. Serious Russian discussed it. I'm not sure if he's on about my bowel movement or if he's on about the pizza. On board with Knowlesy then, big breaking point into 17 or 18, and now we're into 19 and 20 then coming up to the line. What is Knowlesy done in here tonight? Knowlesy goes into 12th position and in front of his teammate there. That's good stuff indeed. Then Chazza across the line goes 10th fastest there for Chazza. Good stuff indeed. Then what about the triple world champion then? Top-ended speed there for the kick. Sauber, who's that gone across the line? Was that one of the Aston Martins? It was Nameless up so far. No points so far from Nameless. Nameless is pointless across the line. And 5th fast there for Soundsurf Ninja. Last 2 weeks he has been qualified, what is it, 12th on the grid, I think, but that's much better for the triple world champion now. Of course, in the races, he's not seemed to have lost speed, but the last 2 events he qualified has been the champion's Achilles heel. So Soundsurf Ninja might have put that weakness to bed now with a superb qualifying and 5th fastest at the moment now. Soundsurf Ninja 25-2 then for Steve at A is saying that ham, pineapple and mushroom and no add extra then. I forgot I was a food stuff then. I do like ham. I must admit though, I hope you don't boo me out of the commentary box here, but I'm not the biggest fan of pizza personally. I don't mind munching on it, but I don't think it's not my as Boxside goes into a superb 6th position there. Nick Candish is starting his lap now. That Equals has found 1300 a second there. I'm not the biggest fan of pizza as we're on board. Remember, this is a very solid performance so far from the Racing Bull. I was going to say Mumpet then. Yes, pizza. I'm not a fan of pizza. What is my favourite food? Probably just a ham and cheese sandwich. I'm really into chicken at the moment. I absolutely love the chicken. I literally just devour it almost every day, to be honest. As, oh gosh, I put my foot in something wet. That's not good. I'm hoping it's not where I missed the toilet. So Delando just got under the freeway as well. Menace out. So what can Menace do then? Oh, and we've got a bit of slipstream here from the Scuderia with Delano down in 12th, up in 12th position, I say. Here comes Menace, who had a cropper, not Roy Cropper, but a cropper in the opening sector. And now Delano getting out of the way there. What can Menace do in the second split time there? And now then into 17 and big breaking point on board the Ferrari then. Going on the curve there. Not taking too much curve there. The car is very settled then. Out of the final turn. And Menace across the line. Menace goes up into 8th position there for Menace. Good time for the Ferrari then. And here comes Nick Candish. She's found almost half a second in the middle sector. Good stuff indeed. From Abu Dhabi, from Saudi Arabia, our Saudi Arabia runner-up then last week. Around the job. My goodness me! Mortal's gone up faster still as Nick Candish is out with the third position, but a Mortal purple, triple purple for the joint championship leader at the moment. My goodness me. A quarter of a second up in the first sector is Cam. Aston Martin in the second sector as well. Hop, skip and a jump. Now going over the over the freeway. It's under the freeway now. You can see that wall does dip in a bit there, doesn't it? Which is perfect for where Cam can place the car. And now onto the back straight as well. Well, if you had a pizza last night, you wouldn't have a stomachache today. That is absolutely true, to be honest. I wish I did have a pizza, to be fair. I shouldn't have been greedy, because I had Haribo this, and then I decided to go all out and have a cheeky kebab and chips as well. Cam goes 13th fastest there. Whisker behind his teammate, 200 a second there. The Aston Martin team looking quite nip and tuck there, aren't they? Very good stuff indeed there for the Aston Martin. Sweet Crown down in 10th position there for Sweet Crown. We normally see him a bit higher than that. Of course, any of you old-time viewers would know Sweet Crown as Wooter. 9200 a second up in the first sector there for Lightsen. Lightsen, this is his second or third time, is a full-time driver in the Mercedes-Benz AMG car. Of course, now as we come into this, my favourite part of the circuit, I love this part of the circuit, and a hop, skip and a jump. I think that bollard's already gone now, hasn't it? I wonder who took out that bollard. Verstappen took it out there a few, back in 2024, I think it was that. which did it cause a safety car or something? I can't remember. It caused something, didn't it? Which really ruffled Red Bull. Then, of course, Red Bull are in a bit of a turmoil at the moment, as of course F1 finally returns to action in Spa this weekend, which is of course the best race circuit on the calendar. And of course, I'm still a little hurt as to why it's being alternated. Maybe it should be one of the American races being alternated, but having said that, it's quite a big country, America. It's lights goes first. That's great time. These are some very competitive times out there, isn't there? I do feel that we're in a bit of a revolution stage of Grand Prix racing at the moment, isn't it? With Immortal really finding the peak performance with Van Von up there. Lights also getting up in the first position as well. Nick Candice really kicking on, and Flippy as well, the silver champion. They're really ruffling the feathers of the top guard of ALR as well, then, which is all exciting times, isn't it? Of course, Sam Swift Ninja has had a monopoly over gold in the past 3 seasons since stepping foot in ALR. He has been the undisputed world champion, has Sam Swift Ninja. He hasn't been beaten in a season as of yet. P's 2 minutes to go. He has not set a time. He's down in 20th position at the moment there, P's is. And P's currently 4th in the standings. And I would say that that is going to be mission critical for Alpine to really get himself. So that's a terrible start from Boxtown. Did you see all that traffic he had to get through in that Mercedes? That is a horror show for Boxtown. And look at this, and going through the curbs and riding those curbs, and that is great, isn't it? Goodness me. And oh no, that isn't it. He's gone wide, and I think he's okay. Well, his lap time seems to be okay still, but that's not ideal, is it then? Oh dear then. I think they're all cheating, says Serious Mushroom. To be honest, it does make sense, because there's no way that they can do under a 35 on this track. Absolutely not, because I certainly can't do it. Boxtel then going into the chicane at the end of the straight. And of course, I must say that at the end of the straight, then going into that chicane, then it's very much a Boxtel. I think he's pushing too hard now. He's not letting the car do the work, as Martin Brundle used to say in the early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Not ideal then, but he does have a slipstream from his teammate, and some good teammating today. Just a teammating. Good teamwork then, as someone's just jumped up the order. Was that the Ferrari of Delano? It was up in the 12th position for Delano, and I think the Ferrari team will be happy with that then. However, I think there's some big hitters like Troy down in 19th position. Across the line then for Boxtel goes, but only improved by just about as his charge has been depleted. That light stays third fastest there. So checker flag is about to flutter. Sam Swift Ninja 98 hundredths of a second up in the second sector. This is peak for Sam Swift Ninja. Let's see if he's got anything left in this Kick Sauber. Of course, the constructors champions, the drivers champion as well. The Kick Sauber team then have kept this partnership then, and hoping to win more constructors championships together. But the Racing Bull team has got a very formidable package this season. And as Sam Swift Ninja goes fifth fastest, and on the third row of the grid, Flippy starts us up now. Nick Candish is just started. It's that Van Vaughn is on the far end of the circuit, 1900 a second down. Then Immortal's going quicker still. Goodness gracious me, he's got hacks onto the back straight now. What about that McLaren then? And that McLaren of Chance goes 15 fastest. Cam is finished. He's 14th bet in the Aston Martin cars. The Aston Martins are currently on row 7 of the grid so far. We got a blue car. I think that's the Williams team. It's one of the Williamses of it's Troy, and Troy has gone up into 15th position there for Troy has that. So Troy then salvaged something, but Troy, the former champion, be disappointed to be that far down still. Here comes Knowlesy across the line. Knowlesy goes up into 60 faster than Manchester's teammate. Mumford is retired from the session, unfortunately. Who was we looking at before all that fracas came our way? Immortal is now a 10th per second up there. Immortal's a 10th per second up there. Kaz has gone into second position then. Nii Candish has also come through as well. But there's Immortal then who's found another 2/10 of a second there. Pease has gone up to 7th. So good salvage operation there for Pease, and he'll be happy with that. Menace stays 9th, and here comes Immortal across the line, and it is pole position again then. 3 laps there, and he has lowered the bar again. Incredible stuff. And Nii Candish has gone up into 3rd in the Alpine machine, and good stuff indeed there. Well, but as the box has finished, and so that is our grid, that it is Immortal pole position there once again, and it is pole position number 24 of his career My goodness gracious me, he is setting records for pole positions now, and Immortal's now also found race trim as well. This is a very scary combination for Immortal, and that is Immortal's second pole position of the season as well, for himself and for the Racing Bull team, and there it is then. Him by 2/10 of a second. Really impressive stuff again there for Immortal. Fantastic indeed. That's Racing Bull's second pole position of the season as well, because of course Racing Bull has only had pole position from Immortal at the moment. There is Immortal giving me a lovely love heart. Fantastic stuff indeed. Scraps. Says Equaz and Mortal. PB of the season, I'm very happy with that, and it's raining in the race. Lovely stuff indeed then. Ooh, is that rain throughout the whole race? This is going to get very interesting indeed. Shamefully, I'm back on the monster this week. But apparently monsters, because it's got no sugar or anything. Apparently, it's healthy. I'm not sure if it's very good for the old heart, but I'll worry about that later on in life. But what we should be more concerned about tonight is not about my physical well-being. We should be more concerned about this weather. And the weather front is coming in the last few minutes then, as Farf is obviously in the facility because there's rain, baby, says Farf. And I wonder if Farf wrote the song by Pitbull. Is it Rain on Me? Or maybe Farf actually wrote It's Raining Men, actually, by was it the Weather Girls that sung that first? I think it was. Then it was Jerry Halliwell. Ironically, Christian Horner's significant other. Um, Trust you, Farf. Absolutely. I reckon Farf is probably hosting, isn't he? Right, so that is not too heavy at all. Is anyone going to start? No, they're all starting on the intermediate tyres. I was wondering if anyone might actually roll the dice and potentially start on dry tyres, because that is not heavy at all. Look at how dry that track is. That is, so that to me, the rain has only just started there, and it is very light then, this is. Very light indeed. So let's go through the grid. It is Immortal pole position, number 24 of his career. Van Von is second, with Candish in third position, with Lights in fourth. As I said, it's personal best. Flippy is in fifth there, and it's an old champion row 3. Silver champion Flippy. Triple world champion Sam Swift Ninja. Brabant, former silver champion in 7th position. Pease in 8th position, multiple Grand Prix winner, but Boxtel overtaken there, and on the formation lap there, of course, Michael Schumacher got a black flag for that, didn't he, in Silverstone in 94. I know that's like almost 40 years ago, which really upsets me. Menace in 10th, Equals 11th, Sweet Crown in top position with Mumford 13th, Delano in 14th, Nameless 15th, Cam in 16th. Both Aston Martins and both Williamses are struggling. Must be when if they struggle with the car there. And then we got Knowlesy in 7th and 18th position, with Troy in 17th, Chazza in 19th, and Legends there completing the top 20 there. Looks like to us, but it's not, says Serious Mushroom. I got to be honest, I think that's a drizzle. It's a shame you don't have a option there to come in the pits there, because if I was the drivers now, luckily I'm not, if I was the drivers now, you know what I'll be doing? I'll be thinking about coming in the pit lane, you know, and throwing on a set of soft tyres. It depends on, well, maybe not soft tyres, but dry tyres, dry slick tyres with no grooves in them, of course, there, and let the other drivers then disperse the water. But there's no spray out there at the moment. It is very dry. Look at that. It's so dry. It is very there is, you can see the splashes of rain, the splashes of the drops of rain off the surface of the track, but I would say that this is potential where there's actually, you can see that actually that's quite a bit of water coming off of those intermediate tyres over Mortor. Maybe dry tyres is not a good option, and that's probably why no one's going on the dry tyres here. It's a shame that someone didn't roll the dice, like potentially maybe a Legends or Chadza at the back of the grid potentially. But of course, these races are so tight. Then one wrong move, like of course getting disqualified on the grid, and that would be all. That's all it then, isn't it? That's all she wrote then. Intermediate tyres. I'm not sure how long this weather's going to last for. Is this going to be a light shower? A short shower then? It's very light at the moment now. And of course, so we might be able to switch onto the dry tyres potentially, or is it going to get heavier? 5 lights are on here in Miami then. It's lights out, and let's get jiggy with it as we go down into turn one, then 29 laps around there. I need Caddy short over the second position. There's contact there between the three cars as Van Von's gone deep then. There is contact between the Red Bull, then there's going to be more contact. There's a sandwich to Ray on the Equals and scampering off the circuit, and not Equals, sorry, Lights is scampering off the circuit. Lights has kept his position there, but Nikat is going to feel a bit hard done by, and it's a terrible start from Flippy. Flippy's dropped down 5 positions there. It's a terrible start for the silver champion. On the outside goes Sam Swift Ninja, but Nick Candice runs him out of road. Pease is up the inside here, but Pease there has been rebuffed then on his attack then. What about Flippy? Flippy's trying to recover. Sam Swift Ninja's had contact and he's lost out to the Alpine driver then, as Alpine doing a bit of a double team there. Brabbitt's also passed as well. Sam Swift Ninja's lose out here because Willis has contact with the walls and damage to the Ferrari car. Let's take a look. It doesn't look like it. Flippy's cleared back out the front as we go into the chicane here on the back straight then, as we go down into the chicane. There's more contact then, as of course this track is wider in some places there, but goodness gracious me, they're still fighting each other. Here's Flippy fighting with the Ferrari now as we go into this very awkward part of the circuit, going under the freeway. That is all contact again there. My goodness gracious me, rubbing is racing then, as they say in touring car. It seems to be the same in a Grand Prix race as well. Down the back straight, Immortal almost out of DRS. DRS, will that be available? Because it is light showers, and normally DRS is disabled when it's when there's a rain out there. But I would say it's probably safe to use the DRS set. Sweet there is gone onto the side of Menace. He's up in 2-9 position now. Passes the Ferrari driver. Boxell's down into 2 positions there. Nameless also down as well. It's a terrible start for Flippy. Great start from Sweet Crown. Flippy down 3, Sweet Crown up 3. P's up 3 positions as well. Lights is now in the second position there as they fly underneath me. Followed by Lights and followed by Cam. As Sam Swift Ninja's going side by side with Brabbit, and Sam Swift Ninja's got the position. He's got the inside, but Brabbit off the inside into the next left-hander. On board with the triple world champion and Brabbit through. Sam Swift there sticking his nose in there, but thought better of it. Brabbit in 6th position, and Sam Swift in at 7th position. He's going to go the inside, then Brabbit leaves the door ajar. Sam Swift Ninja going wheel to wheel, but Brabbit there repels the attack of the triple world champion here. They're out of DRS now. I don't think DRS has been enabled. I didn't see the DRS be enabled then. Rain has got heavier, I think, then, but there's still not enough for spray at the moment. Sam Swift Ninja then uses that straight line, that speed advantage in the Ferrari, kicks Albert, and now up into 6th position there. But the battle in there has cost them a bit of time then, as they go underneath me as well. Drives would have been quicker, says Farpen. They're kicking the proverbial out of each other then, says Serious Musher. I was thinking the same as well, so it's great to hear a former Grand Prix winner, Farf, agree with me. Even though Farf's Grand Prix wins, last time Farf won a Grand Prix in gold, it was around the dinosaur ages. Gosh, now he's going to ask, when have I won a Grand Prix? And I would say never, but I have been a Constructors' Champion. But then so has Farf as well, so maybe this argument is for a better day. Flippy is now past Brabbit. Brabbit's back on the inside. Brabbit storms past the Silver Champion. 2 Silver Champions out of the pass, then going wheel to wheel down into turn 1 here in the Miami Autodrome. As the 2 Alpines, I wonder if there will be a bit of team orders there potentially. I like Miami, says Farf, and hopefully Farf can get on the points as well, because Farf has not scored any points so far in the Silver Championship moment, sadly. And then Alpine have short positions now, so Pease is the quicker of the 2 cars at the moment. Look at Pease at a bit of a difficult qualifying, even though he did qualify 7th still. But I wonder what he could have done if he got his first lap together as well about the issue, because I feel that Pease probably would have kept a bit on the table there, just make sure he gets a lap in. So I do feel there's a bit more performance in Pease's left toe at the moment, but a great time nonetheless. Flippy is now past Brabbit and moved himself up into position. I wonder if Brabbit's got a bit more of a wet setup on. I wonder if he's got a bit of an anchor on the back of that Haas car. As Troy and Nameless there doing a bit of tango in here, but Troy is now on the outside. He'll have the inside. He takes the position there. He's now the beat on that Aston Martin sandwich, and then Dolzy also is a part of that Gagler cars as well, so it's very interesting stuff indeed. No DRS still, but Lights, and here comes Lights, and he hasn't won a Grand Prix since Zandvoort back in season 5, I believe, or 4, and he is through and now takes them all up into the lead of the Grand Prix, passes, and through he goes then. So Lights leads, Immortal second, Van Von is about a second and a half back then, followed by the 2 Alpine. Sam Swift and Ninja trying to recover. Sweet has got past, Sweet Crown has got past. Into the pits comes the Red Bull. Is that going to be dry tyres and for the Red Bull? Van Vorden coming into the pits now then, as the Red Bull mechanics are ready and willing in the pit lane. There is the medium tyres, and so there is dry tyres out there. I love these races, and races where it's not cut and dry, because it certainly isn't dry out there, is it? For goodness me, that as the medium tyres gone for the Red Bull, so Van Vorden has given up track position here for better tyres. And the golden rule in Grand Prix racing is being on the right tyre at the right time. And Brabbitt still in front of his teammate on board with Sweet Crown there. Look at that. Sweet Crown's neck is already going over to the right there. That's a bit worrying, isn't it? Goodness gracious me, running on that 4. And it's not really a too difficult of a circuit on your neck, is it? Says me. I'm not an athlete though. Like these drivers out here, Lights is now starting to pull away. He's almost a second in front then. So we got a bit. So Van Vorden is found for half a second now on the first sector alone of Chadza, and I think that Van Vorden may have rolled in the dice here, and this is going to get very interesting. Too early, says Smasher. I won Abu Dhabi at the end of last season. Then I like Turtle, says Serious Smasher. Into the pits there comes. No, not into the pits. Van Vorden, and they're scampering off the chicane there. Is Delano there? Says they're fighting, and now Troy up the inside. There's a bit of debris there. Well, that was from the bollard of the Williams car, remains to be seen. And there's another kick Sauber of Legends there, having a sniff on the inside of the Aston Martin. On board with the Troy, on board with the Super Sweet Troy. He is through to 14th position. Yes, he passes at Delano, who is a multiple runner-up in silver. As up the inside, there goes Nameless, launches up the inside, passes Delano. There's wheel-to-wheel. Delano is damage to the Ferrari. Into the pits comes Aquas. Into the pits comes Legends. Into the pits comes Delano there. As Lights is now out of DRS. Incredible stuff indeed there. The gap is down to 4 seconds, but is that tyres or is that them fighting too hard? Then hard tyres going on for Delano. Chaz out the mediums. Mediums for Aquas is hard. Good heavens above. Van is gaining now, says Farfar. Oh my goodness gracious me then. So Twinkle Toes Van Vorden then is making the tyres work. The gap is 5.4 seconds. Make a note of that, gentlemen and ladies, because this is going to be very much about on the tyres, on the right tyres at the right time. And I'm wondering if those drivers that come in the pits, and so it's the 2 Red Bulls, and so Red Bull, who have been masterclass in strategy over the years, and have both feels that it's going to be a dry tyre race set unless this rain gets heavier. At the moment it's very light out there. Nearly a second already, says Farfar, and he's right there, because the gap is now down to 4.6 seconds over Knowlesy then, who is the last of the intermediate runners. This is going to get very interesting indeed. The challenge now for the dry runners is catching and then passing. As Murray Walker used to say, catching is one thing, passing is quite another. Oh, incredible start there. Loving this race so far. Lights leads, of course, Lights a Grand Prix winner. He's only won one Grand Prix, I believe, in his career. Lights has there, but goodness gracious me, what a one to win there, because he stopped to eat the cookie from his domination at ALR back in season 4, I think it was. Incredible stuff indeed. Too wet in some spots, says Sirius Mushroom. So, yes, I think Mushroom's right, because the gap's gone back up to 5 seconds there. Immortal second, Pease in third position, Nick Candish in fourth. Sam Swift Ninja is gaining. Mumford into the pits then. In the racing ball then, Flippy is 2.5 seconds back, then Brabbitt is 2.5 seconds back as well. Then we've got the 2 Haas cars of Brabbitt and Sweet Crown in 8, 7, 8 position. Medicine Knight with Boxtel in 10th position there. As then we've got Telemphis, Cam, 12th Troy, Nameless and Knowlesy, 13th, 14th and 14th. There's 2 14ths in this race now. Van Vorden there, 5 seconds there. Oh, I think it's crossover, you know. I must admit, I was with Farf at first, but Mushroom makes a good point. He can see that the gap is yo-yoing up and down. He comes out in front of Quell, says Mumford does. Here, and oh my word. Back on board then, as I feel we might have to stick with this battle here, because this is going to get very interesting today. So Mumford has now got to warm up those tyres. Luckily for Mumford, there's no puddles out there. And Van Vorden, it's the first sector. Van Vorden is absolutely flying in the first sector. That is where it's the driest, I think, on this circuit, is the first sector, because Van Vorden is absolutely eating into Knowlesy's advantage. It is the second and third sector, I think, where it's a bit too wet for the slick tyres out there. Lights is dominating. Well, he's not dominating. That's a goodness me, Sean. Calm it down. Lights is looking comfortable out there at the moment. Is a mortal second. There's 2 Alpine Soundswift Ninja is starting to gain it on Nick Candish, who hasn't got the pace at the moment, has he, Nick Candish? Soundswift Ninja almost into the rear of the Alpine. Alpine car is in the top 5 comes to the pits. No, they have all stayed out there, but Nick Candish is struggling. I wonder if he's overheating those intermediate tyres, because it is very borderline. The intermediate tyres do not like to get too hot there, do they? Of course, they would rather have a bit of sploshing around than a bit of water. DRS has been enabled then, so yes. Oh, it sounds like Ninja's struggling there. So yeah, the DRS has now been enabled then on lap 7. The race stewards have decided it is time for the DRS there. Why? Question is, why wasn't it enabled before though? Because I feel that the conditions haven't really changed too much, and it still feels about the same as when we started in this one. It's that light rain that gets you wet then. Oh, it's that drizzle, isn't it? That drizzle kind of rain, isn't it? Good. I hate that kind of rain. My goodness gracious me. Mumford there is catching Equals as there he is, as it's all of a sudden it's got very bright out there though, hasn't it? There's Mumford. Look at the understeer. The dirty air on these Formula 1 cars is absolutely paramount right there, isn't there? And Mumford there will not be too fun. You can see once again Van Vodden has got the gap down to 4.2 seconds in the first sector. It's the second and final sectors, and have they got enough improvement? It's my question here. With now DRS though, this is going to get very crucial indeed. The gap there is lightening up to 2.2 seconds at the moment there, into still slightly faster, so it's far absolutely then. So yes, in the final sector and the second sector, the intermediate tires seem to be quicker if you're judging Van Von and Knowles' gap then. On board with Sam Swift Ninja, the DRS there, whoa, well, I thought the Sam Swift Ninja swapped ends there, but he's okay. Here's the two Haas cars swapping positions. Sweet Crown into the pits is the race leader. Also into the pits is a Multony Candish and Sam Swift. They're all in the pits now. Good gracious me, so they feel that the DRS has now then triggered it. Oh, it's a terrible stop for the Mercedes. I think the lights got held up quite dramatically there, and whether that's going to cost them or not remains to be seen. And now the Mercedes mechanics are only just getting in position for the second Mercedes. Boxer lights coming out the pits now. Nameless is now over it too. What about the dry runners there? As Van Von then, yes, so goodness me then. So it was not enough, but Van Von is slotted into just about where he came in the pits originally. So he didn't lose or gain any time. Then Van is flying now, though, says Serious Mushroom. But I reckon they might have jumped slightly too early. But even so, that's definitely a roll of the dice. Now, of course, because you've used a intermediate tire, you don't have to use two types of dry tires. Then, of course, so you could go medium now, which is the better race tire around this circuit. I hazard a guess. Do I know that for certain? Absolutely not then. But have I read someone's race report or pre-race report then? Maybe. I raced on here on career earlier on. Such a Nameless then, who's just going under the highway then. Nameless on the intermediate tyres. Pease leads the race. Second is Flippy. Third is Brabant with Troy in fourth. I'm wondering if Flippy and Pease was just taking it a bit more cautious at this time in the race there. Or maybe, as now here comes Lights and back up a new fourth position. This is a crucial part of the race and you've got to get by the traffic quite pronto here. So now here comes Nick Candish getting past Van Von. As you can see, Van Von then trying to get back under the slipstream now, but Nick Candish is through. Immortal's a second and a half in front now. Is Immortal then who's stuck behind Knowlesy, but Knowlesy is coming into the pits now. Lights leads, and Lights got a decent advantage. I thought Lights got held up in the pit stop. He absolutely did then, but Van Vodden has got the fast up race. Pete's going out of the pit lane now. Is he going to get out in front? Then Sam Swift Ninja's back in the pits. What's happened? Sam Swift Ninja's back in the pits. So what's happened for this? It's a nose cone change for the Triple World Champion, and now soft tires for Sam Swift Ninja. It's all falling apart then for Sam Swift Ninja. And goodness me, he was dropping back, but I didn't know he had a nose cone. It had a damage to the front nose cone. Brabant's lost out. Boxtel's on the outside, and it's got more momentum there. He's got a lot more knowledge on those harder tires, which is very important at this stage. Oh my word there. Lights leads by 4.5 seconds. Good gracious me. The two Alpines there once again are going wheel to wheel. I'm wondering now, is the advantage now with Nick Candish then, because of course in the damper conditions it is very much all P's. Now all of a sudden then the shoe is on the other foot then. On board with Van Votten, he's done an extra 5 laps on these medium tires then, so I think he's going to have to pit again. I think that everyone on the medium tires is going to have to pit again surely. But hard runners will go to the end, says Serious Worship. By the way, I only read that after I said it, I swear. Flippy, 2.5 seconds back. Soundswift Ninja in the back of the field on soft tyres. That's a horror show for Soundswift Ninja. Whoa! Neat Candice, the overspeed is very dramatic down that back straight. My goodness me, Sweet Crown all over the back of Flippy as well here. So Flippy has lost a bit of time and Lights set the pass out the race. Lights is incredible out there. Absolutely incredible for Lights, and he hasn't won a race in neon years, and this could be the longest, and there's damage for Mumford as well. So a couple of wings have been damaged here in the opening exchange of this Grand Prix. I say opening exchange, we're going to have distance in this race now already in a very entertaining start to this Grand Prix as Legends there in 70th position, Chazza, then there's Sam Swift Ninja down in 20th position at the moment there. But Immortal is now starting to eat into that lead of Lights there, and he's on that supposed slower tyre. Lights needs to make hay whilst the sun is shining here, and at the moment that's not the case. The harder tyres we think will go to the end there, but I do feel if anyone's going medium, they will have a tyre advantage towards the end, which is probably obvious. But I've got to say it just to also keep myself in the loop. Style, who's catching with Cam, and through he goes, and up into 9th position. One action-packed start then to this Grand Prix of Miami. And I'm going to be honest, I reckon that someone should have rolled the dice to start on the dry tyres now, because I do feel that the track was still dry enough, potentially. But then again, that might have backfired dramatically. Soundswift Ninja down in the back of the field at the moment and probably needs some kind of safety car up there. We do not know what happened with Soundswift Ninja. Troy, 3-second penalty. That's a slam dunk, unfortunately, for Troy there. Taking liberties with the track limits there, unfortunately. And Troy is now going to have the second penalty because here comes Mumford. But Mumford hasn't got the straight line speed at the moment, has he? Goodness gracious me. Well, Lights did set the pass up, but then Immortal has reeled him in again, and the gap is down to 3.8 seconds. Flippy has set the pass on the race. We're on board with Flippy now, who is now much more comfortable in these drier conditions, and as he is all over the back of Van Von, who has pitted a lot earlier than anyone else. And he was the first driver to come to the pit, said, when the rain was easing off bed. And look, Flippy's out on the inside, and he takes up the race there. So his medium tyres already gone off there. Soundswift Ninja sets the pass up the race there. I wonder if those medium tyres have already gone off. They've done 7 laps there, and that may be, I reckon that if that is the case, that medium is not going to get you to the end of the race, and surely they've only done 7 laps, and that's even in cooler conditions out there. The track is still not at its absolute premium in terms of heat then, because we've now got a bit of sunshine here in Miami, which contact with the wall there from Sweet Crown. The sun is out now here in Miami, which means that the track temperature is going to go up and up and up, which means then that the tyres will start feeling that. But of course, at the moment, though, I think that they're all fine dandy. But 7 laps on those medium tyres, that is quite shocking. I suspect those medium tyres go a bit longer than that then. So yeah, I think the medium might not be the case then. But having said that, we do not know. But it's going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? As we've got Soundswift Ninja there, just getting past teammates, Legends there with Chaz and Nosey fighting in 18th, 19th and 20th position there as Pease is through, passes his teammate, and it's the 2 Alpines who are second, third and fourth in this race, who are currently, and the gap has come down by 3.2 seconds again there. Mortal, for the first time in his career, I believe, could lead the championship as things are at the moment there. That's incredible, isn't it? As Knowles has got past Chaz and moved himself up into 19th position there. Down in 20th goes Chaz, unfortunately. Medium's already done on Van Von, says Stephen Anstey. Yes, they are. So do you think then the medium for the likes of the Lights and Sweet Crown and Cam, do you think that's going to be the case? I don't think it is. I think they're going to have to just go to hard tyres, and they surely they are then. I wonder if the Alpine drivers may start to just tow each other along potentially. Having said that, as long as they don't start to scrap in the corner, in the apex of the corners and in between corners, they shouldn't lose too much time here. The gap is 3.5 seconds there between themselves and the racing bull. Knowles has got a 3-second penalty. Flippy 2.25 seconds back at the bottom there. Sweet Crown has also got past Van Von as well, who's dropping like a stone. And I wonder if Van Von might have to think about got onto the hard tyres then, unfortunately. Lights then is now got the gap is stabilised, so the gap was coming down quite considerably. Soundswift Ninja down to the 16th position. The gap was coming down hand over fist then between Lights and Immortal. The gap is now 2.2 seconds, and he can just getting a bit of air in that Alpine there. Is go on Alpine, says Sarah Special, of course, the team leader of the Alpine now for gold, silver and bronze for the joint constructors, doing a good job at the moment. Brabett's got past Cam up into 10th position there. Cam having a sniff of a Brabbit through, and in 10 minutes, the Mortal set another fast over the race and has found another couple of tenths of a second then. Goodness gracious me, into the pits. Van Botten is into the pits then for the Red Bull. Let's see what tyres is going to go on then. As just keeping an eye then, as Van Botten then on hard tyres now to the end of the race. We ain't even have to. That's the most sensible option, I think, then, in my opinion. Then. But I thought medium was a sensible option, but absolutely not. So Lightsen can get enough, if he can get another 3 laps out there and go medium again. But the tyre performance, I think the drop off for the mediums is too much. It's too great, I feel. Legends in the pits as well after only a couple laps on the medium tyres. The same chances also done 8 laps as well, as has Equals as well. Equals, obviously, and you've seen the Candice gaining. Flippy, 2 seconds, there he is. He's 2 seconds back in the background there, Flippy is. Flippy could potentially elevate himself up a few more positions then. After a difficult start in his career of gold this year, with no points finished in the opening 2 races, did finish, but no points there. He got a very good handful of points in Bahrain, then of course Saudi Arabia getting on the podium for the first time in his career. Shame that someone was in the right party. Who was that? They might all have to, they all might have to stop, says Serge Russia. You lied to me, Russia, because you said that they weren't going to stop. How dare I bring, oh, and through goes the condition up it, where have they gone? And flip it, another different position, down into 4th goes up Peter. As, my goodness gracious me, as, gosh, there, it's getting nip and tuck there, good gracious me. Who's the, is Dave Greenwood still the team principal of Alpine? I don't know anymore. Or is it Steve Nielsen now? Nielsen don't start till August, does he? But he's not, as, oh my gosh, we're talking about personnel rather than the racing, Sean. Come on, get with it, man. And the Candice is back into 3rd position. Pease is down into 4th. I don't know who the team principal is. I think Dave Greenwood, of course, if anyone long-time F1 fans, he used to be a engineer for Marussia, I think, and Manor as well. Into the pits comes Equals, and Sanchez Ninja doing a good job on these soft tyres, by the way. He's done 5 laps, which I would have thought they would have fallen off, even where it said, yeah, even the hard runners will not make it to the end. Mediums 9 laps, hards 14 said. Hards will be chewing gum by the end then. Oh, it's only 2 Alpines there, swap position again. Oh, that's incredible then. So it's not a straightforward race then. Oh, I like it. As look, here's the race lead. It's Lightsen, and wonder if Lightsen's going to have to go to the medium tyres, or the harder tyres then, because he's only done 6 laps there, and Serious Restaurant said might be chewing gum. Let him race. No team orders at Alpines, Stephen. Oh gosh, I'm getting a bit too corporate now, and I was like, oh, they should just follow each other, shouldn't they? But this incredible battle, though, is allowing Flippy is now got under 2 seconds here, as Pease has lost out again. His knee conditions through. Goodness gracious me, gentlemen. As Flavio Briatore might be doing his Swede in there. As Lights is now going to be under the caution. It's a 2 Alpine, so once again in DRS, there he is, and obviously in the background is Flippy in 5th position. Immortal in DRS as well, says Definite Duke. Oh, this is going to get very fire, isn't it? Here in Miami, and of course, is it the city of party in Miami? Into the pitch comes Cam Nullin. All I know is the heat is always on in Miami, as Will Smith sung a song back when he was. I think that he just starred in the first Men in Black, I believe, way back in the day, which of course an absolutely living legend. Immortal is in DRS now then, as a Definite Duke mentioned, and look at that. I think the next DRS zone, I think that it's going to be a change for the lead, as we have distance now in this Grand Prix, and the Alpine guys are now going to have a McLaren issue on their hands in the form of Flippy in 5th position here. So here comes Immortal then. Let's go on board then with the joint championship leader. Sanchez Ninja's made as well the 14th position there. I wonder if Sanchez Ninja might be able to go medium tyres, because he is quite light on his tyres. Here comes Immortal, and there he goes. He takes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix, and Immortal back in the lead of this race then. Immortal Hards will definitely be dead towards the end then, says Farfair. Lights has not dived into the pit straight away there, so I thought they might have dived into the pits, but that's not the case. Look at this though, as the medium tyres have fallen off a cliff then for Lights and for Street Crown. I know that German agents had fallen off the cliff, haven't they? Because that was the go-to phrase and right at the beginning of Pirelli's reign in Formula 1. But Menace and Boxtel, two drivers who we normally used to see through the front throughout the grid. That Men's Grand Prix winner, Box Style, I think 18 times a Grand Prix winner in a Grand Prix race. And there's a lot of Grand Prix in that sentence there. I think that just like the battle for the lead then, it was a matter of if and when, and Immortal's already out of DRS range, and Nick Candish has now dropped Peas, so Peas has dropped off the back of his teammate then, not ideal at all. Kaz might be able to get to the end then, says Anthony, as where is Kaz Money? He's in top of this, they don't bring up on those hard tires. I think he'd be disappointed if he don't get to the end from there, personally. Surely he's going to have to do a bit of tyre management here, as Menace is going to have a sniff. That Haas car of a Sweet Crown is harvesting, but at the moment, no dice set as they go through the mini stadium complex. Van Von has got past Nameless and Albert to position there. I must admit, Nameless there is probably, of course, going to be very frustrated that, of course, he's finished just outside points on the last occasion or two. Hasn't he? No points so far from Nameless, but he's been there or thereabouts. So a lot of frustration there in the Aston Martin paddock. Just watching Boxed Out. Goodness gracious me, then almost in the DRS of Menace. He's through and up into 7th position there. Or is he? Menace breaks much later though. Oh my goodness me, it's going to get very squeezy at the exit there. But look, almost over the curve here, but Boxed Out is through. Into the pits comes Sweet Crown. What tires is going to go on then for the Arts car? But this will come back because Menace is now all over. He's got DRS and he's going to go on the outside. Locks up, then is he going to do a PR Street? No, he isn't there. But oh my gosh, that's going to get very dicey indeed. But Boxstar retains his position and keeps ahead of the Ferrari. But I gotta say, they're going to get much closer in this then. And there'll be DRS on the back straight again then. So I think the Boxstar might be having that sinking feeling. Talking of sinking feelings, we're on the part of the circuit with that fake marina there. Fake marina then. So just back on board again with Menace again. Let's go on board the Ferrari drive. Nick Candish is now starting to eat into Lights' lead as well. The gap is now under a second end, which means that's DRS, the point for the Alpine on the inside. The Ferrari, he locks up, he's through. Yes, but no, but Boxstar comes back ahead there. Oh my goodness me, that very respectable drive between the two rivals, but this is how Brabants get into the facility as well. Magnificent, absolutely incredible. Lights is lost out, and surely then his Lights going to go medium then, surely, because he's done a good job actually to get it up this far. Fantastic for Lights. I think he's going to come in the pits. I got medium tires to get there for the Mercedes car. I think I can see Mercedes in the pit lane. Yes, they are in the pit lane then. I can't see him because I just see him coming on the map there, but you got to be authentic. And the inside goes Menace. I think then is Boxstar going to come in the pits. So he cuts across the Ferrari as we go on to the start-finish straight for the 18th time in this race. Oh, Bradford's got a 10-second penalty. That line comes up so quickly as we go into turn one. Fantastic race in between Boxstar and Menace. Oh, incredible, absolutely incredible. My goodness me, then racecraft between two Grand Prix winners. Two men have been on pole position there multiple times in their career. Absolutely cream of the crop of ALR talent, and they are showing why. That brilliant race and no contact, a bit of rubbing, a bit of spice here and there, but fantastic race. And Lights is out 3-4 seconds away from this battle now. Magnificent, and even with DRS, which you think it'd be a slam dunk, but my goodness me, it's just been incredible racecraft, isn't it? Because somehow on the straights, Boxstar and Menace have kept each other behind, and when they do swap positions there, they are still in the facility. It's absolutely great racing out there. I love it. Fantastic stuff indeed then. Lap 18 out of 29 here, and I've run out of Monster. That's not good. Goodness gracious me. Right then, where am I? Falling Like Levinson, says Sarah's Russia. I used to love that game. And my claim to fame is that my older sister got stuck on 11's level for years and years and years, and I'd done it in one go. It was one of those. Ones where there's a load of lava, and you had to build all you had was bridge builders or something. And I very flukily somehow got them into their home or something like that. But unfortunately, though, I didn't get a tenner, which I was hoping to get a tenner. Instead, I got Monopoly Money, which is better enough, I suppose. But I don't think you have Monopoly money anymore, do you? You have like cash machines, don't you, on the new Monopoly? Shocking stuff indeed. Lights is now gaining hand over fist. Then he's gained almost over a second there. Into the pits is Peas and Flippy, who are in the pits then. So let's see. Peas has come out just in front of Troy. Flippy has come out just behind Troy there, and there is the net result on screen now. Bravitt a 10-second penalty. Boxtal's got a 3-second penalty as well. That's going to be painful. The top 4 have not stopped yet. Lights is the highest driver that has stopped. Is Immortal. Should have Immortal come in the pits here, because maybe he should have mirrored what Lights is doing, and potentially that could have potentially guaranteed him a win. I'm not sure. It might have done. Southwest Ninja down in 70th position on the medium tires. Here comes Flippy. Passes and goes up into 8th position now. Van Von is lost out because here comes P's up into 6th position. Great driving. And then we've also got a swap position. It's the Mercedes drivers, the course we just in the Alpine drivers. Absolutely go hand over fist then, haven't they? And now we've got the 2 Mercedes. We're going to see some team action here then, as Boxtel looks like he's defending there. Now though, Lights will have the purchase, have the fresh tires, and it just launches him off turn 16, and now into the pits is the second, is the man who's second in the Grand Prix, as Boxtel used his teammate Slipstream there, but he's gone wide. Menace there is going to cover him off. Brilliant driving again there. Menace keeps 4th position with Boxtel in 5th. No pit stop said again. Lee Candish is into the pits, and Lights is of course now going to be hunted down. Immortal. What is the gap? It is 17.1 seconds. Now then, if Immortal comes in the pits, he will be out behind Lights, and at this stage of this race there. Watching this makes me sad then, really starting to miss up gold then. Of course, Percy is next in line to get a gold seat then, which of course the former champion would be great to have him back in full time. We've also got Lights to pit and drive like hell, says Anthony. Miss one race and hazel it, says Serious Mushroom. And Mushroom had a terrible excuse as well, wasn't it? A sniffle is why Mushroom, excuse me, there's a man with a big exhaust pipe outside. The Candish is through, passes Van Von. I think Van Von's strategical calls here may cost him in this race. Sadly, he's dropping again like a stone then. He came in the pits. Oh my gosh, it's Flippy there, taking a base of action, but he's through in a Bruce. Magnificent stuff. And oh, there's contact, but luckily they make those front wings very sturdy in Milton Keynes. Van Von down in 10th position there. Flippy is now all over the gearbox. Flippy, since it's dried up, has been a revelation. That McLaren Mercedes, and he is on the limits of that Mercedes, McLaren I should say. And P's here, there he goes, and he's past Menace and everything. Full fair position there. Can Boxer cover into the pits, comes a Morton, and so that's medium tires. I think we'll be going on the Racing Bull of the inside there, but the Candice there is just going to have his nose cone chopped off there, so he thinks better of it. 8 laps on the medium tires, that should be safe, shouldn't it? And into the pits there, Boxer's had enough there. You've got to watch out for that line now. We've got a 10-second penalty for Brout, which is going to go but cost him valuable points in the Constructors' Championship, sadly, which is disappointing. Then Hard's also at the pit as well. It says that Camera Racer Sound Swift is still going to be a pain, says Serious Mushroom. Bug off for Lights and 2 for the price of 1 then. You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free. No, Sean, I had me hard hiccups, and says Serious Mushroom. I had a sniffle. I didn't miss the race though. I pitted and quit, even though Clark still gave me a free license points. How did Candice get through there? Goodness me. I got to be honest, I thought that door was going to close. And now sadly Menace is unfortunately being overtaken, like he's standing still down that back straight, even though they are doing well over 100, 200 miles an hour there down that back straight, sadly. And now then Peas is now the cork in the bottle. Here comes Immortal, who's gone onto the hard tires again. Then has Immortal. I thought he was going to go medium, but no, Immortal's quite comfortable out there as you go hop, skip and a jump then onto the back straight then. And now then as Lights said, is 2.5 seconds there in front of Peter. I don't think that's enough, you know, because Immortal is absolutely flying. Sunsurf Ninja, as Mushroom said, is still going to be a pain in the rear for anyone on the outskirts of the points. Cuts across and the Alpine car. I'm taking 2nd position now then, says Immortal. Then next up there is the race leader. Lights said, this is a great performance from Young Lights, isn't it? This is best performance so far this season. 3 points on the board for Young Lights said, but this could be his first podium in many of a moon then. Into the pits comes Menace, and so Menace will be thinking about medium tires potentially. Boxar's got past Cam. Of course, Boxar and Menace has been fighting nose cone to rear diffuser for the past 10 odd laps or so. But look at this, and it is the undercut is so powerful around here. Whether you can get those tires to the end or not remains to be seen. Now Menace coming out of the pits now. Troy will be alongside, but Troy's going to lose out because Menace is through. Troy in 12th. Sam Swift in 13th position there. I think that Sam Swift may struggle to get to the end, on those medium tyres. And look at this. And so Pease and Nick Candish and Flippy are going to see if they can just keep themselves onto the back of a Mortor, and maybe they might be able to get themselves gate crash in that podium result. Maybe this is going to be very interesting indeed. Then. I didn't get any license points for my pit and quit at Japan in percent. I just got a broken rig instead. I think I'd rather have license points than a broken rig. Albeit, I think that I have broken a lot of controllers over the years. I'm playing this game. Having said that, I haven't broke any controllers in the past 2 weeks. So too bad. Nameless has got past Sam Swift Ninja here. As once again the Alpine cars that are going nose to tail. Yeah, sadly, Favre gave me penalty points for my pit and quit in Spain. To be honest, those are the rules, aren't they? But I'm absolutely devastated because I thought being an admin and that I'll kind of be, above rules and stuff. If only. I feel I get punished more than anyone else, to be honest. Goodness gracious me. So I think that I was also on a warning as well for my incident in Australia, if I remember rightly, for taking out vintage. Even though I didn't take out vintage, I technically did take out vintage, but it wasn't my fault. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we? I'm digging myself a hole here, and I'm probably going to be viewing in front of the stewards once again, then, which I probably will be after the next race in the event league, where we got 2 races for the price of 1 on Wednesday. Is that Cam has lost out to Menace. 2 50% races there on Wednesday. It's going to be good stuff indeed, which means twice the fun, twice the action, also twice the amount of time, so I'm going to get in trouble. Fantastic. Neat Candish and the Peas have swapped positions, and 3rd and 4th position at the moment. We've also got every cloud, Percy, absolutely. We've also got seeing Boxtown Troy not at the front of it brings tears to my eyes, says Percy. Of course, the best things I've ever commentated on is, ironically, the worst game that F1 ever produced, not ever, in the recent era. Anyway, of course, the worst F1 game that ever produced. Then, what's happened? Cam's in trouble. Oh, we'll have to hang on to tenterhooks, mother. Oh, that's. What's happened there? He's made contact. Has he made contact with the inside wall? I do not know, but there's a full course caution, which is a VSC, actually. Goodness me, I've been watching too many World Endurance there. So the Aston Martin has been cleared then. Is that a virtual safety car? I can't see a safety car, so it's just a full course caution out there. It's a virtual safety car, which means that drivers have to into the pit. So it's a Van Bonny, so it's going on to more medium tyres, and Brabham is going to take this opportunity to get rid of this 10-second penalty on that 24 out of 29 here. I don't think there's a safety car there. I can't see Bernd Mylander's yellow dot there. Brabham, that 10-second penalty is horrific, and I'm surprised that only Brabham's got that 10-second penalty, because this is one of the races where you get a lot of penalties, don't you? On this one there. You can't park there, sir, says Sirius Rushing. Out of the pits comes Brabham. He served his 10-second penalty. That is crucial in this race, sir. If Brabham, I've got to say that his tyres has been an absolute premium in this race, and I think the Troy, is that Troy that was coming in the pits? It's one of the McLarens. I think it was Chaz, actually. I wonder if they missed the boat. And now then, that is allowed light set. Just a crucial extra half a lap or two to keep the gap around 2 seconds there. A hop, skip and a jump then for Malta, then Pease, who is still in the vicinity, as is Neat Candish, as is Flippy as well. This is getting very crucial indeed as we cut down to the final part of the race, and Bad Bond is through, passes a Menace and moves himself up to 8th position. Driver of the day is out as well, as Farfair absolutely knows his driver of the day, he said, because absolutely knows what driver of the day he was having today, because he didn't need to see the start positions. He knows how good some of these drivers have been today. I'd have said 20 drivers should have been a driver of the day today, but luckily, and also I always vote for reserves for driver of the day, don't I? Just ask Sirius Special as I go into turn 1. Lights, and the gap is now to under 2 seconds here. Lights, Peas, Immortal and Blippy for driver of the day. Get your votes in now, ladies and gents. Where was I? Nameless points, says Sirius Russian. I'm so sorry, Percy. How dare I insult you? Points says Nameless there. Sirius Russian. Peace, driver of the day, absolutely. You could be starting on pole in Baku if you finish last in Jeddah, Sean, and that's a real possibility. An absolute real possibility. I can't do Jeddah for. I could do the Formula E circuit. mainly because they don't go over 100 miles an hour, so that's probably why. Oh sorry guys, gosh, I'm throwing fire tonight, aren't I? Need Candy. Oh, Peas is out of DRS now of Immortal. Now that is going to be crucial. I wonder if the Alpine squad might start to think about potentially working together because they need to keep in that DRS out, but Immortal's in DRS of Lights and areas, and is Lights now starting to fall off a cliff in terms of tyre life? I don't think so. Cam out of the race sadly, so Cam very disappointed. That's his second DNF in the first 5 races in this Grand Prix. Sam Swift Ninja has stolen the points there off of Nameless, and unfortunately through goes the Candish and onto the podium for the second race in a row there for the Alpine car. Alpine once again showing their might then and showing their stuff. Here's Flippy. Flippy is going for it. He's having a look on the outside. Then he is going on the outside, but Pease has got the inside. Is he going to go up and under? Great defending there from Pease. Lando Norris may need to learn a thing or two from Pease, because that is expert positioning of the car. Sorry, that was harsh, wasn't it? Again, goodness me. To be fair, Lando Norris has been driving superbly well since we visited Miami since. So good stuff indeed there. Has to be Immortal's birthday driver of the day. It says PRC fans. Yeah, I forgot about that. Happy birthday as well to Immortal. Brilliant stuff indeed there. And look at that then. And now Immortal will have the ultimate birthday present of potentially winning the Miami Grand Prix and taking the lead of the Drivers' Championship. He is through and up into the lead of the race there. Flippy is through, or is he? Because Pete is broke so much there, he's gone deep, and he's been looking at that, and they're almost making contact, banging wheels, they're both harvesting. The McLaren takes pole position, P's down to 5th, Van Von is past Box Talent up into 7th position as well. Incredible race in there, but unfortunately for Flippy's point of view, he won't have DRS, I don't believe, so P's will have DRS. Let's go on board. The DRS board is just here. There it is, and now that Flippy's going to have to be looking at his wing mirrors here, even though they're as useful as a chocolate fire guard. And look at this, and then wheel to wheel onto the hairpin, locking up, stamping on the brake pedals. Pease is through and into 4th position. I'm dribbling everywhere, but it's going wheel to wheel. Fantastic race, and as I come across the line, magnificent stuff. But Pease is coming back at him as we go into turn 1. Magnificent. Fantastic. Immortal stealing DRS so of Lights at the moment. Incredible stuff indeed there. Oh, mega stuff indeed. Immortal leads there, but now what has Lights got left then? He's done 3 more laps on these hard compound tyres. But I'm wondering then if he's been doing some harvesting. He's almost out of DRS range. That just shows that those extra 3-4 laps of the on those tyres is very much a make or break, isn't it? It's incredible stuff indeed. Immortal that is on course to take lead in the championship with Sam Swift Ninja. This is going to be a very rare occasion where Sam Swift Ninja finishes a race and does not score points. That is the state of play at the moment. Nameless is on course to score his first points of the season, which would be very good stuff from Nameless. Nameless has finished all but one race in Bahrain. But Nameless has not scored any points just yet then. I thought Sean was stuck. To be honest, I'm always stuck there, especially trying to get through doorways, says Anthony. Unfortunately, these apple and grapes is not helping me at all, but perhaps I should cut out all the other things that I'm eating and drinking as well. But luckily there's double doors in my local pub, so I've always so that shouldn't be a problem for at least the next 2 decades. As happened to 11 for this time. Nameless is also borders. I think Nameless could be having a sinking feeling here with just 4 laps to go in this race. Sam Swift Ninja, this is a very rare phenomenon that we've seen Sam Swift Ninja not score any points, and of course he has only DNF once in his F1 career as Sam Swift Ninja, as Flippy cannot get into the DRS of Nick Candish, but Nick Candish will have those medium tyres are starting to fall off a cliff. Surely this has been a great race. It really has indeed then. And there's me starting off the stream going, oh, I'm not really a fan of this circuit, but my goodness me, it's always produced good racing, hasn't it, in a Grand Prix race in terms anyway. Fantastic stuff. Brabbit is now going to be seeing his prey. There he is, Sam Swift Ninja into the pits now. Brabbit on the outside. Brabbit has taken Nameless, and Nameless, so this is the final point, and on the outside, and the Brabbit has taken that position. He's got rid of his 10-second penalty and has now got a point then in his pocket. That is brilliant racing there for Nameless. Delano doing a great job in 12th position there. Sam Swift Ninja coming into the pits to get some tyres over fast that. Same with Troy as well. Yellow flags on the back straight then. What has happened? It's I'm not sure. I think it's either Legends or Equals. It was touring on the back straight. Immortal leads on lap 28. Lights in second position. Need Canish in third with Flippy in fourth. But Pease is not done with that McLaren just yet. Back on board with Pease. Great job again. And now we got Van Von. He's trying to recover. Back him in his sixth position with Van Von at this moment. 5 a day, Sean, doesn't mean meals. What? Doesn't it? Well, that is devastating. Absolutely devastating. But having said that, I did start to have some smoothies, but then I realised that smoothies are not good for you either. To be honest, nothing is good for you, really, is it, in this day and age? So, yes, just live how you want to live and just be happy. That's what I say. Unless, of course, you're a Man United fan. On board now with... having said that, you guys have been through enough over the last couple of years, and you goodness gracious me. Maybe I'm just an maybe I'm an evil man then, but I am Dr. Evil. I look like Dr. Evil, only I got ginger hair instead of on board. Molto, this is for the first time in his Formula One career in gold, is going to take the lead in the Gold Drivers' Championship, I think. But what a performance. Immortal is in such a good run of form at the moment then. And this is going to be the most wins that Immortal's... Yellow flag, it's a Ferrari. What's happened? What else happened there? And it's Menace, I think, has had issues. And there's also yellow flags down that back straight as well. Menace has had an issue, but there's also what has happened on the back straight here. That I'm not sure. I wonder if they're just getting out of each other's way so that they can go for a so they can actually go for a fast lap then and get some deployment going. P said, I think the P's is too far back here to potentially go for fourth position there. Here's Immortal though coming out of the final turn, and he's won the last 2 races. He's going to win 3 in a row here, and Immortal takes the lead in the World Championship, and he wins the Miami Grand Prix 3 in a row. Immortal wins the Miami Grand Prix, and that is his 7th Grand Prix win of his career, and he's got a 25-point lead in the Drivers' Championship after 5 rounds. My goodness gracious me, and I did not see that coming, absolutely not. Fantastic stuff indeed. Lights finishing second today. Great drive for Lights there. And that is Young Lights' first podium in a long while. Then his 5th podium of his career. And Nick Candish there once again on the podium for the 3rd and for the 2nd time in 2 races as well, with Flippy in 4th. An incredible race. And Peace in 5th position there. But it is Immortal who is now going to be... All the headlines is going to be on this one here. His birthday yesterday. And a Grand Prix winner for the 7th time today. He takes the lead in the Gold Championship by 24 points rather than 25 now, with Samsung Ninja getting that fastest lap there. 3 wins in a row now for Immortal. My goodness gracious me. And who would have thought that was going to happen after the opening 2 races in Australia and Japan then? My goodness gracious me then. Absolutely, this is a turnout for the Bucks then for Immortal, and he is on absolutely prime form at the moment there. Gemwire, but Immortal is really Immortal. Well done, bro. Let's go, boys, says Lights, and tried a tactic, didn't work, says Equals. Down in, did someone retire there? I wasn't looking there. And there he is, punch in the air. Championship leader is Immortal. We've got a championship fight on our hand. Sounds with Ninja. How is the Triple World Champion going to bounce back? Well, I think with a lot of fury and fire, I have no doubt about that. This is going to be mega. As race winner is Immortal, fastest lap with Samsung Ninja drive of the day, with most of drive of the day is Kaz, and most overtakes. We're missing one. What are we missing? Oh, cleanest driver. Oh dear. Never mind. Then let's move on. All right. Immortal, 7th Grand Prix win of his career, with Lights a 2nd position today. Great drive from Lights. Need Candice, 2nd podium in 3 races, in 2 races. Flippy 4th, 5th is P. Is Van Von in 6th. Sweet Crown 7th. Boxstar 8th. Menace in 9th position. Great battle between those 2, with Brabant in 10th position. Nameless, heartbreak again for Nameless. That's 3 times or twice now this season. He's been just outside the points. Delando, great drive today, but unfortunately no points. And Sounds with Ninja Horror Show down in 13th position there, but getting fast up at least that. He's within 24 points of Immortal. Charles in 14th with Mumford, Knowlesy, Legends, Equals. Troy, I think, finished higher than that then with Cam. Is the only retirement then from this Miami Grand Prix. Absolutely, absolutely incredible stuff indeed in this one. It's been been absolutely fantastic. It really has indeed. Then, as let's quickly go to the. This time I got some interviews because I'm actually in the right party this week, which I wasn't last week, which is quite shameful. Shocking stuff indeed. What a drive today, good sir. And this your second podium in 3 races there. But but of course we do love to have a controversial question there. And right from the get go, you and Pease had an absolute blinding of a battle there. Was there any thoughts of team orders though, or was there no team orders in the Alpine this season?
Hi to all. Yeah, tonight the pace was good. I think I had no problem in pace. Although in the quali when I saw the race gonna be in rain, I changed my setup. I just make the difference in downforce so much. It was a little bit strange for me to drive. So for first couple of the laps, I was just getting used to the car. I think I got a moment with Sam Swift. I don't know like what happened there. I should just rewatch the stream. But yeah, the strange moment was fighting with my teammate. Like at first, when we reached each other, I was thinking like we are gonna work together, but it wasn't the case. So I just continued the fight. I just gave up the P1 or P2 because of that fight. Of course, like I think we lost to Umyortal, but by 2 or 3 seconds. I feel like completely that time was the fight we had with Peace. But it's okay. Like at end, I'm completely happy with my result.
Do you find that frustrating about your teammates potentially costing you the win or costing you those extra couple of seconds? Then, because that probably is frustrating. Is it? Are you going to have a chat with Pease after this race, potentially maybe working together? Because both you two so far has probably been the surprise package in terms of the constructors this season.
Yeah, of course, the team can be so good, especially like we can work with each other and fight at least in the last laps. For example, when I came out with medium tires, I think like he could just stay behind me instead of fighting me. Of course, we're gonna try to have a chat and like from next races, we can work together because even in the championship team constructors, our team is in a good position. So I think we can continue that pace and at least get the constructor, but not for this race actually.
And of course, you did mention there was there contact between yourself and Sam Swift Ninja because he came in the pits to change his nose cone after one lap. Was there contact between yourself and Sam Swift Ninja today?
I think like there were like two contacts. One of them were in like lap one. Just he just in my view he just came into the turn. It was my turn. I didn't see him like completely. I don't know what happened to him. And also in the pit entry after the rain, I was cautious in the pit entry. I was rewatching it just now. I feel like I just slowed the car exactly on the racing line it was suggesting. So I think maybe it was his fault. But all the decision is for the stewards. So we should wait to see the results.
And an incredible result once again. Then I think that you are in a very good spot in your career so far. 2 podiums in the last couple of races, and you're in really fine form. Then the sky's the limit. I mentioned last week. Then do you feel that the win is just around the corner? Because you said today potentially if you and your teammate work together more, you could have got a win today. So do you think that maybe a win is on the cards for you next time out?
Actually, in this race, if I didn't had a fight with my teammate, I had a chance to win. But if I gonna say the truth, that chance was so low because like Immortal has a better pace. So I think like the best I could do is just standing beside him and in the DRS. I don't think like I had that much chance to win, or like the only hope was to for him to make a like mistake or something. But I'm sure like I'm trusting myself. So if I had the pace, I'm gonna try for win for sure. I'm not the type of guy to be like happy with these podiums and stuff. I'm gonna just make my hopes bigger and try bigger for it, harder for it.
I absolutely love hearing that. That's fantastic. And of course, we go to the first European race of the season, the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix next week in Imola. Of course, this race, there's a lot of runoff in this race. The Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, a bit old school, not many runoffs there. Do you feel yourself, Alpine, could get another good result there?
Actually, my nightmare, the next track is like I'm so bad at it. I think like last season I was just fighting for 1 point or 2 points. Like I'm always bad at Imola, so I'm just trying my best to at least stay in points, or just I'm gonna see. Like in this game, the handling is so different. Like so many tracks, I was bad. Now I'm so good, or like some of the tracks I was so good. This game is I'm struggling. So I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do much TTs there. I'm gonna just guess my pace, and I'm gonna see what happens next week.
Thank you for talking to me today. I really appreciate that. And that's your third podium of your career. Fantastic stuff indeed. And that's going to be it from Gold tonight. What a brilliant race it is. Tomorrow night, we got more action from Miami. And of course, we got Miami actually on Tuesday night as well. But of course, tomorrow night, it is going to be silver. 3 points separates Markey and the Duke at the top of the standards. Mayran is also in third position within the win. Of course, goodness me, the top five is within a Grand Prix win and Barca's lap point now. And of course, Tory's only 27 points as well. The top six are, goodness me, within a whisker of each other. I cannot wait for that one. And of course, we've also got bronze on Tuesday night as well, which Dynamo Dan leads the championship by 3 points from Rosa Sky. Brilliant stuff indeed. That's going to be it from me because I also hear some thunder coming in and I'm scared of thunder, so I'm going to run for the hills. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow night. Goodbye.